Where does the South African Police Service get these generals? I mean, how are they recruited? Under what criteria? What kind of interview panel sits down, looks at this man and says, yes, this is our guy. This is the man we want leading organized crime investigations for the entire country. Because I am about to show you the most embarrassing testimony of a corrupt general in South Africa. And when I say embarrassing, I do not mean a small, awkward moment. I mean a man who was buried alive. He literally admitted lying and misleading the commission in front of the entire South Africa, and he agreed he is willing to face the consequences. Just imagine that. Before I show you guys the video, please like this video. It's free to like. It costs you nothing, 0 rand. Production team, please roll the tape.
The way witness A understood what you were saying is that you don't want this information for the National Commissioner, i.e. the police. You want it for the other side, being for Katiso Molefe. That's how he understood it. And I think that is how I understand it as well. You say you meant something else. So the other side cannot be General Sibiya. You can't be referring to General Sibiya would want it for General Sibiya's side. Who is the other side?
I prefer not to mention them.
No, General, you see, there's something is being suggested. The witness believes that the other side is the Katiso Molefe people. That's what's being put to you. And if you say, I prefer not to answer, then that statement where the witness says, the other witness said, you were referring to the Molefe side, that becomes the last word on the topic. The whole point of this engagement with you is to give you the chance to explain yourself. You are the one that speaks of another side. And where someone else has said the other side is I think you said group of 5, where witness says it is the Molefe side. You are the one that said that. That's what the transcript is. You're the one that said the other side. Yeah. And you can't get away with saying, I prefer not to answer. And if you say you prefer not to answer as a witness of the commission in terms of the proclamation, you do, and the act, you do have an obligation to give an explanation. Why not?
Okay. As I indicated, as I was discussing informally with a colleague and further gave information relating after the arrest to say that is why they are behaving like this. Further, I discovered that he was he was business partners with Rumswazi and the other 5 people. And that is what I was sharing with him, because I was knowing he's at the safe house. And now they have now consolidated, they can be able to follow whatever of the information. Yes, that one I indicated. That is why even when I was responding to the issue that I said, General Sibiya is related or not related as such. I can't remember the question here. Is
close.
Have ties with Katiso Molefe. I indicated I don't know of that. What I know is he gave me tasks to say I must follow up to find out the detention status of Mr. Molefe, because the family doesn't know. So all of this information I needed, it was to report back to say yes, he was detained somewhere where, and then the family found him, the attorneys went there, and everything is fine, and he was arrested for discharge. So hence I phoned that day. So the other side, it might be I was saying I don't believe it was the NASCOM who phoned to find out, or the complaint came to him. It might be coming from the family or other colleagues of his asking that. So I can't know who.
General, you say in this transcript, you don't say I believe, you say ngiyazi ukuthi akayifuneli ukuthi ayise lapha ku-NESCOM. So you say I know he doesn't want this information. Firstly, in fact, I think, let me read the beginning of that sentence, because I think it has a meaning other than what you are giving it, the first part of it. You say, so ngiyazi noma athi ngize lapho ufuna ukungibuza. So he's inviting me so that ufuna ukungibuza ukuthi ya ngikuthumile manje kwenzakalani whatsoever, so that naye and ngiyazi ukuthi akayifuneli ukuthi ayise lapha ku-NESCOM. So there are two things in this sentence. The one is, you say you know that he's inviting you so that he can ask you about what he sent you to go do. And then you say, but I know that he doesn't want this information for the National Commissioner. You know. And then the investigating officer says yes. You say family, you say uifunela, this other side. Now it can't be the family, because the investigating officer has already said, the family has been told, the lawyer rather has been told. That's part of your earlier conversation. So you're not talking about the family when you say the other side. And if you want to say it is the police, you have to say who in the police. And unnecessary as it may appear, I think you should be reminded that we are required to investigate infiltration of law enforcement by criminal syndicates. You have, this whole discussion speaks about, mentions Mswazi, Katiso Mulefe and others. So I don't think it's good enough, or it's going to be good enough for you to say, well, I don't know who's the other side. You're the one that speaks of the other side. You have to mention them. And if the commission has to go and interview them to find out what is their involvement with what you're discussing, then the commission has to do that.
Yeah. Commissioners, I was phoned by the general to say he received a complaint that the family doesn't know where the suspect is being detained, and I must establish the detention status. So that is what led me to phoning. So yeah, the other side, it might be the family of the arrested person. Because the information I got from him, he indicated that the family doesn't know where he is. I hear that the response from the investigator was that the lawyer was there, and even that day I indicated it is funny that they don't know where else the lawyer is supposed to be briefed by them to go and look for the client, unless otherwise other people send him. So I will think the other side is the family.
General, sorry, let me give Commissioner Baloyi the opportunity to finish her question. I'll come back.
Yeah, let me just complete this. General, you had already told him, reported to General Sibia, according to your evidence, you first reported to General Sibia on the 7th of December, where you told him that the lawyers have been told. You gave him that report. In your evidence in chief, you said you made a subsequent inquiry because you were going back to work and you wanted more information about this, because you expected that when you go back to work on the 17th, General Sibia will require a further report. So here you now know that the lawyer knows about this, where this person is. It cannot be that your other side, it is the family. I think let's discount that. It's not the family. In fact, you have already said the family or the police. As you sit there, you've said two different things. So let's not hang your head on the family. You've already said the family or the police, and I've said to you, no, and you say I can't tell you who in the police. I don't want to disclose who in the police. So we are past the family. We are now where you say the police. And if that is your answer, you have to say who in the police. And if you stick with your response that I don't want to say it, you have to explain why not. You can't get away with, it can't be the end of the matter. You saying it's the police. Firstly, there's a dispute that it is the police. I also, in my reading of this, I don't accept that it is the police, the other side. But you insist it is the police. Let's go with your insistence. You insist. You say, I will not mention them. Maybe you do have a valid reason not to mention them. Maybe you do have a good reason why you are not mentioning them. But if you don't mention them, you have to give the reason.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we are going to conclude that you are not open and frank with us, and you're not telling the truth because you don't give us an explanation why you won't disclose.
Yeah, I indicated the police because there is this thing that there is division, but I don't want to just mention a person because I think, and I don't have reasons to believe that they have got interest in that or whatever. Hence I'm saying what I know for a fact is the family had interest. But yes, I know he's got police who are close to him, including myself. I'm quoted to be one who's close to him, but it was me who was supposed to report. So I said maybe the other side might be the police or the family. But for the police to say I can mention this, I will mention people who are working close with him, unnecessarily so mentioning them wrongfully for not this involvement or whatsoever.
Afternoon, General.
Afternoon, Commissioner.
Remember when you started testifying last week, Thursday, you took an oath. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And you said you will testify truthfully.
Yes.
Yes. What frustrates me is that many times we've had witnesses taking oath before us, and then when it is their turn to give evidence, they play games with the commission. If there are safety issues, there are safety issues. We appreciate that. But you can't have a situation where 2 minutes earlier you say the other side is one faction of the police. And then when the same question is repeated, you say, oh, the other side is now the family. It means you are lying, because you can't have two different answers for the same question. It's either it's the police or it's the family. But that answer cannot change every minute or so. So I'm going to try this with you on the assumption that you have safety concerns and you don't want to mention people's names. Please go to page 66, the previous page from where we were. Are you there?
Yes.
Now, I want to take you back to the 16th of December 2024 because this reflects your state of mind and understanding of the facts on the date when the call was made. Do you see that from line 20?
Yes.
On page 4 of 12, it is page 66 of the bundle. You mention a group of people there.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Now, without mentioning their names, on page 67, when you said to witness A that you know that General Sibia is looking for this information for the other side, did you mean the people who are identified on page 66 from line 20? Is that the people you meant without mentioning their names? Yes or no?
I meant the family.
You meant the family?
Yes.
So you are sticking with the family?
Yes.
It is no longer his side of the subspection?
No.
So when you said it was his side of the subspection, you were lying to the commission?
I will take that.
No, I'm asking you, don't take anything. Were you lying to the commission when you said it is the one faction within SAPS? Were you lying to this commission?
No, I was thinking also about the faction, but I don't have facts to support that.
No. You said you read this transcript. Chair asked you, did you read the transcript? You said both the Zulu and the English version.
Yes.
And you knew
Yes.
And you knew you were going to be asked about this. So you came here prepared. When you were asked the question, who is the other side that is mentioned on page 67? When Advocate Ngube asked the question, you said, is the other faction within SAPS? 2 minutes later, Commissioner Baloyi asks you the same question, you say is the family. That can only mean your first answer was not truthful. Was it not truthful?
When I said the faction?
Yes.
Yes.
So I must take it that you have lied to this commission and consequences should flow from that.
Yeah, let me concede like that.
Thank you.